In January 2007, the Oregon Natural Step Network organized a community meeting that brought various people and groups together to discuss sustainability and resulted in the launch of the Corvallis Sustainability Coalition.
The Corvallis Sustainability Coalition is a network of over 100 organizations, nonprofits, businesses, faith communities, educational institutions, and government entities.
So 10 years ago, citizens in our community developed the Vision 2020 statement. This visionary document describes what our ideal community would look like in the year 2020, and it includes many of the elements of a sustainable community. The work groups that were formed after the March Town Hall meeting are developing an action plan, you'll hear that word action a lot this evening, so that we can make that vision a reality. The work groups are made up entirely of volunteers from the community, and they have collectively spent thousands of person hours in meetings and collecting data and a really remarkable flurry of email exchanges that dominated the internet in this local region for the last several months.
So the work groups were given several tasks. We were supposed to develop these long-range visionary goals, and that's what you'll be looking at tonight. We also worked on interim goals, baseline data to show where we are in our progress towards these goals, and metrics to measure this progress. We've also begun to collect both existing and potential strategies to help us reach our goals. So in your handouts, you received a response form that includes the long-range goals for each group. We're going to introduce all these goals to you up here and in your little papers, and then we're going to read aloud a sampling of one goal from each group.
All these topic areas that you'll have the opportunity to visit and talk to, they're all interrelated, and we ask you for your feedback so that we can gather that information in an orderly form. But it's not to think that sustainability is these 12 separate silos of topics, but it's really the interconnectedness of it all.
The most important thing in terms of world change, global change, is to just start doing something. Have your goal in mind and then just start. So we know that action planning processes should be revisited annually and over time. So it's not about getting it just right the first time, but it's about making a start in a concerted effort. Goals are a broad statement that we hope to achieve in the future. It's the place we're trying to go to. Strategies are the basic method or the path that we take to get there. Tonight we're focusing on actions, the tangible products, plans, or activities that we can commit to reach our goal. This is a basic map of the cafeteria with the doors on your left. There will be staff situated around the room to help you find your way to the appropriate work group, and there's also signs at the top of each work group. So for right now, I just want to thank you for coming, and we're adjourned to go into the cafeteria and get going to work on the work groups. Thanks so much for coming. See you soon.
It's like one thing after another.
To spend the first little bit just going through the 3 goals that you saw up on the chart. Then we're going to just ask you for feedback on those goals.
I think that I hear a lot of times I do, set high goals, but I think if we set goals too high and people see that and believe that they're not achievable.
And Jim and I will scribble your feedback to make sure we capture it so that when we go away, we've got it written down. We're going to hand out after that the sticky notes, and you're going to write down action in support of the goals that you will have already given us feedback on. And then at the end, you'll have the opportunity to use your dot to say this is where you want to make a commitment to go into action with the actions that you've either brought forth or that others have brought forth and that you just think are something you can commit to.
We'll look for just general feedback on whether you think this is a good goal, a bad goal.
The direction of the goal.
Yeah.
Is it regardless of how ambitious it is it moving in the right direction?
Mark said this is perfect. I would disagree with that because there's so much of the rest of the world that is not going to make zero. Somebody's going to have to do better than zero in order for the world to come out zero. And so to me, the goal ought to be better than zero. It needs to be negative just to compensate for the rest of the world that isn't going to make zero.
5 minutes just to write down actions.
So when you say actions, what do you mean like?
We're leaving it wide open. Any actions that you can think of that would take us to those 4 goals or any of the modifications that we've talked about. That's what we want to know, is what you think are important actions to get us to that point. It would be useful if when you wrote an action down, you wrote it down whether you think it's something you can do, something business can do, or something the government should do. And you know what percentage of street miles they have with bike lanes? 15. You know what our percentage is? If you look at just our tour and collectors, it's 97%.
It could, because it's not that much past.
Yeah. Well, most bands, especially in apartments,
I mean, we really need to stress that with landlords and managers.
Got you where we want you now.
Get the kids outside. No child left inside. How about that? Each kid, all the students get an opportunity to be going outside.
Fish are very good indicators of whether your ecosystem is working or not. And when all you had this, we all used to have native fish all the way around here.
One way to eliminate mandatory water reuse.
Very high standard for industry.
Runoff in general. It can be agricultural runoff, it can be urban runoff, it can be from parking lots of the city.
Ag runoff is percent-wise worse than even coming off.
I think we're going to get started.
How the land is used agriculturally.
Word food security is kind of big and vague, and I've certainly heard it used a number of times, but I would just love a more specific definition of what that means just listed in the goal, just so it's really crystal clear about what that all encompasses.
Has there been consideration for storage so that food can be distributed evenly during the year?
We want ideas on how to change those habits.
To get the CSA boxes or whatever, yeah.
Oh, like Victory Gardens.
Please wrap up your second round. You have 10 minutes to take a break and move to your second topic you'd like to discuss. Thank you so much.
An opportunity to reconvert student rental homes back into single-family homes to rebuild neighborhoods. There has been a lot of capacity for student rentals, new apartment capacity and dorm capacity, such that it's enabling us to recapture a lot of the houses that have been converted to student rentals have been carved up, ripped up. So the action would be to advocate for an incentive for reconversions back to single-family residence.
Implementing a green building program, I think, would be different than saying that you're going to use significant amount. Because if the talk was to implement a green building program, I think that the time should be bumped up or talking about. I mean, that could be done in 1 year with some pressure.
Only. Don't go to big box stores.
I'd like to get a few more ideas, and we'll unfold the other one, and you guys can go up and do your dots.
door. Make a contest.
That's interesting. Maybe I'll put a sticker on that.
Done my presentation by now.
But to write that down, and then we'll try to share some of those.
I do 2 goals left, but does anybody have anything for number 3?
Well, and I think of it as
How many agree with that? How many people live Do you have any comments?
15, and I'm thinking 2012 because I know we're already underway with a lot of this, also with the green schools and just all the curriculum that is in place. Is 2015, could we do it sooner?
So lifelong learning and help us identify the different groups involved.
Well, your hardest group is the average citizen.
What? The hardest group is the average citizen. And it's the average citizen that's not here at this meeting.
I do like that.
marketing, consumer culture thing that we're wanting to.
And I like the
it seems
words
like you need to set the
replay.
context.
We're also going to be probably less likely to see those posters or to be in those circles where people are talking about. So there has to just be an outside the box, whether it's canvassing the neighborhood, going door to door, and actually like talking to people.
The way the houses are placed and green spaces and shared spaces that, you know, that I think I would love to see that covered somewhere, not covered in land use.
Remember which town it was from, it was in California, the case
Okay, we have mandated a portion of local property taxes to go toward.
$1 a year in annual payroll in Benton County. We have approximately $2 million of local investment that I know about, and so we can sort of build into that. And if we were doing 1%, that would really be 12.
Talking about looking at existing data and flushed it out quite nicely. Thank you.
So does that capture what you want, or do we need to say something different? Made in Corvallis tag.
He's done incredible work, and I would suggest it would be a good starting point.
Be more specific about economic vitality. If we could go ahead and vote on things that you're interested in participating in, that would be wonderful.
Human nature. Maybe it needs to be answered.
Please now start making your way back to the auditorium. We're going to have door prizes. You need to be there to be eligible to win. And also, we're going to have sharing from our groups.
That was a really wonderful process to go through and just to brainstorm in those seats with other people about what this community can look like is so exciting to me. So thank you all for being here. We're doing door prizes for everyone who pre-registered, and we're going to start that now. I get the fun process. And helping me with this is Megan Blass and Mitchell Duncombe. The first prize is a plant from Garland Nursery. And it's to Margaret Anderson.
We want to hear back some reports now from the work groups.
Create a regional identity in terms of our region and to publicize local regional investment opportunities.
The more non-renewable energy you use, the more you pay by unit.
Members of the public take sustainability education classes that they would get some kind of incentive for that.
Provide incentives for people to plant natives in their yards.
To make sustainable food and activities and products accessible to all people.
Fruit trees as street trees for everyone to pick.
Create appliance co-ops.
Make the bus free. Capturing some of the rainwater that lands on their roofs, store it, and use it to irrigate their gardens and lawns.
Teach the community healthcare techniques to empower individuals to be well and manage their health.
Eliminate obstacles to food production.
Next year, we want to have a Corvallis Community Waste Challenge!
Yay! I'd like to thank you for showing your support for my future and all of my generation's futures, and also just continue lobbying and getting out there and sharing your ideas.
We need everyone's help to accomplish our goal of creating a sustainable Corvallis. And I have to say that from our perspective, it is extremely encouraging that there are so many of you who are double, triple, and I think some of you even maybe 4 times as old as we are here, working for our future. You're a beautiful 4 times, I have to say. But this commitment that you are making to our future is incredibly selfless and noble, and I just hope you know how proud we are to be your children and how proud we are to be working with you on this project. But all these speeches, these meetings, ideas, and hours of work will all go to nothing if we don't continue, at an individual level, but also at a community level, what we've started here in these last 2 meetings. Your decisions impact our future, so please don't stop now, and please continue to work for a better Corvallis.
That was so sweet. I just echo all that, and I know we all do with each other. So thank you for your efforts to create the community that we are all envisioning and desiring. Bless.
Sorry about that. Oh, no, you were not in the film at all. Okay, good.
We got it, Dave. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Go get in the electric car over here. We'll drive away.